Do you know just how many things were actually invented or created because of dreams? From the song Yesterday by the Beatles to Einstein's E equals MC squared and the double helix of DNA, dreams have been the source of creativity for hundreds of years for many people. What are you missing out on by not listening to your dreams? Find out more on Dream Your Life and live your dream.
Hello, everybody. We are so excited to be bringing Sheila to our platform. So, Ruth, you want to go ahead and introduce her?
Sheila Balgobin is a fifth-generation dreamer born with the gift of dream interpretation and a natural intuitive. Her gifts are backed with over 25 years of training as a practitioner and teacher of holistic therapies and qualifications as a psychotherapist. She has helped clients around the world to decipher the code of their sleepless minds and wild dreams, to identify the root cause of their distress, and either eliminate them or mitigate their impact on body, mind, emotions, and behavior. In addition, Sheila is a best-selling author, a contributing author to 4 books, a course facilitator, and a mental fitness coach. And now Sheila Balgobin joins Just Minding My Business Media LLC as host on Mindset Movers TV with her show, Dream Your Life, Live Your Dreams. Welcome, Sheila.
Thank you. Thank you for that very impressive introduction. It almost feels like it isn't me.
Yes, wow. Well, tell us how you got on this road. I know you said you was born with this gift. When did you find out you had this gift?
Well, it started at the age of 8 when I realized that my dreams actually meant something. I dreamt that one of my aunts and her 6 children actually had been burnt out of their home due to an electrical fire. And I found out the next day that that's what had actually happened. When another one of my aunts came and asked us my mother and I, to gather clothing and whatever we had to help my aunt and my cousins out. It scared me half to death. But it made me realize that I had inherited this family gift from my mother's side, of working with dreams. But it was something that I'd never really talked about and didn't fully accept until some years later, because I just didn't want to be thought of as crazy or weird.
Yes, I know how that is because everybody that don't relate. But now a lot of people want to know. They want to know.
Yeah, and I think the times have caught up with me. It's now the age of Aquarius, so I'm right in the swing of things. I had to wait a bit for everybody to catch up, you might say.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So tell us some of the things that you have going on that people can engage in.
Well, lots of things, but in particular, I do work with people in their dreams on an individual basis, and I teach small groups how, in a 6-week course, how to manifest, remember, and interpret their own dreams. And I've had clients who have started businesses or got advice about businesses through their dreams, people who have gotten important health information through their dreams, people who suffered with nightmares for most of their lives. Once we worked through their dreams and they subsequently took the course, found that not only did the nightmares disappear, but their lives in general were enhanced, whether on a personal or professional level. I recently finished a leadership training for which I've been on for the last 4 months, and that was truly life changing for me because it really kind of made me plant my flag in regards to being a dream decipherer, which is how I call myself, the dream decipherer. And I'm really pushing forward with it and not being afraid to show who I am anymore.
Right. And you should. I mean, God gave you a gift. You already know what He said about that. For sure.
Absolutely.
Wow. So, your show on Mindset Movers. Tell everybody what they can expect for that from that.
Well, it will be looking at dreams from the physiological and psychological aspects of how dreams impact us. I will occasionally have interviews with, in fact, one person that I've spoken to recently also works with dreams, and we have had many interesting conversations about dreams and different aspects of dreams, and she will be appearing at some point. Some of my clients may also appear to talk about their experiences. And I would also be opening the floor and throwing things open for people to be able to submit their own dreams. They can submit a dream in writing, and I will anonymously go through their dreams and give them information about how they can look at the dreams by not not just analyzing them, but finding the important points that they can take away and look at, and actually find what I call the gold in the gobbledygook of their dreams.
Wow. So, how can people get in contact with you if they want to reach out for your services?
Well, they can reach me on virtually every or most uh, online platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn. I have a website as well, which is my name, www.sheilabalgobin, all one word.com. And you can reach out to me on any of those platforms or my website. And I offer a free mini consultation where in a 15 minutes, I give people tips on how they can approach their dreams to be able to work with them and draw out the information. I also do extended consultations where I will do a full analysis of the dream and then discuss it with them. And then again, there's my 6-week course to teach people how to work with their dreams and be able to interpret them for themselves.
Hmm. Wow.
So I do have a question, even though I'm incognito in a way. Welcome, Sheila. Why is it that people can have a very vivid dream? They're actually still in a dream state when they're waking up, and yet have such a difficult time remembering that dream?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. People often say that they don't remember their dreams or they don't dreams. But first of all, every mammal dreams, and if you have a dog or cat and have seen them barking or hissing or look like they're running in their sleep, they're dreaming. So we all dream, but things can impact our ability to dream. It could be your weight. You may suffer with something like sleep apnea, which stops the breathing. You may be taking medication, whether legal or illegal, that can impact our sleep. But the statistically, it has been found that most people will forget 80% of their dreams within the first 5 minutes of waking. And that happens even to me. So it's very common. But one of the things that I teach people are little tricks and techniques that they can use to be able to remember their dreams better. And the other interesting thing is when our unconscious mind sees that we're making an attempt to remember our dreams or to manifest them and call them up, the unconscious mind will actually help the process so that we can have better recall.
So are some of these dreams lodged in the subconscious, or is it our conscious mind where they're lodged?
Well, they come from the deepest part of ourselves, the wisest part of ourselves, what I call the sage mind. But dreams are very actually quite complex things, and research is finding that dreams are in their own right are not just a part of sleep, but have their own importance and relevance in our lives. Dreams can be composed of not only what we experience during the day. And I talk about different types of dreams. I just did a mini series on that recently on online, where different types of dreams have different functions. I mean, in the intro that you played, that you saw that many things that we use commonly or experience commonly have found their existence due to dreams. The first one that everybody around the world knows is Google. Google was the result of a dream. Sewing machines as well. The novel Frankenstein. So, I mean, dreams have different functions, from burning off the minor stress and strains of the day to giving us warnings. One dream I had actually literally saved my life, as well as brought my husband into my life. He was an old flame that dreams brought back into my life, and we had 25 years together. So dreams serve different purposes according to what is needed at the time, but it's usually information that we may not be capturing consciously when we're awake, but once we're relaxed in a sleep state, and not being bothered with what I call the chairs and tables of existence, that the unconscious will float this information up, and it's as if to say, hey, this is important, have a look at this. And as I said, business decisions, personal decisions, all kinds of things can be brought out of our dreams and help us in various ways.
Okay. So one more question that brings me to something else. I was looking at quotes about dreaming, and Steven Spielberg had one, and he says that he dreams all day long, and his dreams are basically where he gets his creativity from. But he said it's not just his night dreams; it's his daydreams. So can you
Yes.
talk a little bit about daydreams?
Okay. In fact, daydreams are, we're in that receptive state, in that calm and quiet state where, again, the unconscious may be able to float ideas up, because the unconscious is constantly working 24/7, 365. It never sleeps. Just like me, the New Yorker who never sleeps. But but let's say there's a particular problem, whether it be personal or professional, that you're working on. You may consciously during the day not be working on it, but the unconscious keeps working. And the daydream state, again, it's a puts us in a receptive state of mind that will allow the unconscious that's working on something in the background to be able to float it up. There's actually a technique that I have used with counseling clients in the past under certain conditions, that's called active imagination, which allows people to, in effect, daydream, to help them to re-enter a dream that they had the night before, or to as Spielberg says, be able to think about things in a more expansive way, because the unconscious mind is likened to a vast ocean, and our conscious mind, the part of us that says I, is just a little cork that bobs on this ocean. So the unconscious mind knows all about us, clocks everything from the birds singing outside to neighbors, arguing upstairs, and undercurrents that may be happening with regard to your relationships. And when you're in this receptive state of mind, whether awake or asleep, it's able to bring that information to conscious attention.
Okay. I could go into one more question because this it borders on the same line of what about where does meditation fit in? How does meditation, when it's not geared to a particular subject or objective, fit in?
Well, meditation is, I mean, it's interesting that you bring that up because I've been practicing transcendental meditation for many, many years. And it's about not focusing. It's about letting thoughts come and letting thoughts go. So there's quite possible when you're in that calm and quiet state that ideas and things can float up. But the purpose of meditation is to um, relax the mind. And so you're not supposed to be necessarily focusing on anything, but I have had ideas and notions come up during meditation. Sometimes, though, I need deep rest and I end up falling asleep during meditation, which is what the body needed. But meditation is because you may be reciting a mantra or phrase to help quiet the mind. You're focused on that mantra rather than letting the mind just kind of drift. But during those periods, because we all have monkey minds that constantly wander away, ideas may come up because you're in a calm and receptive state.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. I'm done.
Wow, this is so interesting. And I think a lot of people never really thought about dreams that way. I mean, I've had dreams, and it was like you get up in the morning, maybe you can remember it, maybe you can't.
Hmm.
And you might speak about it and then forget about it.
Yeah,
And it's like you put a whole new twist, Sheila, on the dreams, and now it's important to pay attention.
it is. A lot of people have a tendency to think that dreams are the result of, cheap wine, dodgy takeout meals, or something of the sort. But dreams really do have vital information and power. I think, for example, one of my clients who took my course, she had a dream that actually gave her some important health information with regard to her heart. Um, and with regard to remembering and forgetting dreams, if people only remember parts of their dreams, there's a reason for that. Dreams usually have an emotional content to them. They're part of you, so they're picking up on your emotions and thoughts and feelings. And the ideas or feelings or notions that have the most emotional charge behind them are what people will remember. So that, if they wake up in the morning, I had the strangest dream. I can't remember it all, but I remember, and they go on and tell you what they remember. And usually that's the bit that's the most important. The other details are less important and may or may not come back to you. But the thing that had the most emotional impact behind it is what will actually be remembered. And I use the example of dream that one of my clients had. He was actually giving teaching spiritual and esoteric material to one of his sons, I think, who's about 10 years old, and the son's friend. And then the next day he wondered, well, did this really happen? Did I really do this? And the son actually came to him and his wife and said, I had this really funny dream that my friend and I were learning this stuff. And he repeated back, not perfectly, but actually repeated back what the father had been teaching in the dream. So,
Wow.
yeah. I've had clients who they've dreamt something and asked a question in their sleep, and their husband the next day actually gave the answer. So we can even dream in common with each other. That's another type of dream that I've added to my types of dreams, which I call communal dreaming, where we don't just dream for ourselves, but we dream for other people as well. And know that from my own experiences. I was going through a period where there was a lot of things going on in my life, and I wasn't actually dreaming. And a client was dreaming, and I when I we would he would bring the dreams to me. I knew instantly that the dreams were actually passing information to me for me. So we can dream for ourselves, we can dream for others. There are whole communities that sit down and dream, like the Navajo and Hopi people in the Southwest US. They elders sit down for to meditate and to dream the world of their great, 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 great grandchildren into existence. So, and there are many cultures around the world that still hold dreams in very high regard and will pay great attention to them. So it's just that our westernized world has decided that, it's so much errant nonsense, and it, like I said, it's just gobbledygook and really has no relevance. But actually, dreams can have a lot of relevance to our lives.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, for sure. Now, deja vu. You know how you are, something happens, it's like you've been there before, or you said that before.
Mm-hmm.
What is that about?
Well, if you think, Western society views time as linear, there's a start and a finish. But if not other cultures, they look at time and as more as being circular. So if you think of time in a circular sense, depending on where you're standing in the circle, and I've heard people who are mediums or psychics say this, depending on where you're standing in this circle, you know, you could be looking at one point of the circle, and that's considered the past. You can be looking at another part of the circle, and that's considered the future. So it all depends on your viewpoint, where you're looking, as to whether this is past, present, or future. And my belief is that we're all been around the block more than once in this lifetime. It's like, if you haven't learned your lessons in the first 10 lifetimes, you'll be here for the next 50. It's the only game in town, and you will stay here until you learn your lessons, whatever they may be. So, which may very well be why you may feel like you've said something before, or you've done something before, or you've met people before. It's my personal belief that it's because we actually have. And it, something jogs that memory, and it comes back. It's like, oh, this is familiar, or I've seen this before, or I've done this before. There's also, it could be, if it's an event or something like that, that you may have seen somewhere or read about somewhere or something, and the unconscious picked it up, but your conscious mind did not. And it's only when something jogs that memory that you realize that, I think I've seen this before, or I've done this before, or what have you.
Wow. I can't wait. This is so interesting. And it has definitely made me look at dreams totally differently. And I want to thank you for that, Sheila, because I was just dismissing them. I had a dream. Like I said, most of the time I forget, but the pieces that I remember, I might speak on it. And that's the end of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have they, like I said, there's different types of dreams that serve different purposes. But as the example of many business people who have built $1 billion businesses have said, or top athletes, or other people have said, that they have found great wisdom in their dreams. And I mean, Freud said that dreams were the royal road to the unconscious, and others, Native Americans have said that, dreams are how the Great Spirit speaks to the hearts of men. So, there has been a long tradition. There have been empires that have been won and lost in ancient times due to dreams. I mean, you look in the Bible, you look in many holy books and many religions, they talk about dreams. So it's not something new. Dreams have been around as long as people have been around. It's just that, like I said, in our modern science-based world, if it's not considered a scientific fact, it's considered to be untrue or not worthy of attention. But research is now showing that dreams really do, even apart from sleep, have a real significance. For example, when I worked as a drug and alcohol counselor, the people who may have been taking drugs or drinking did not dream, and it makes sense when you think about it. They're taking the drugs or drinking to forget, so all of those memories, all of those impressions, all of those feelings are being suppressed, pushed away, pushed down, so that they're not in the conscious mind. However, when they stop drinking or taking drugs, what happens is they start dreaming constantly, and constantly, so constantly, that to the point where they're having these sensations and emotions and things, thoughts and feelings coming up while they're awake. So they look like they're basically having psychotic events, because they're, having whole conversations that are very, very real to them, talking with people, arguing with people, cussing people out, um, because that all of that unconscious material is actually flooding their waking life, and to the point where they really can't separate reality from so-called fantasy as a result.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
That is truly deep. Wow,
Mm.
I'm just amazed at what dreams can do.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely looking forward to your show for sure,
Yeah.
and learning from you. And now that I've met you, I'm definitely going to be paying attention.
Well, good. Keep one little quick tip that I can give you and give to whoever's watching and listening is to um, keep a little notebook and a pen or pencil by your bedside. You don't have to write War and Peace. It doesn't have to be a 50,000 word dissertation, but jot down words or bullet points so that when you're fully awake, you have these words or phrases that can jog your memory so that you can remember more of the dream. It will look like, a 3-year-old was trying to write. That's fine. I mean, I don't expect people to turn on the lights in the middle of the night and start writing. But if they at least jot down those words, I assure you that it will help people to jog their memories a bit when they're fully awake. And in my course, I actually give people different techniques of various kinds that will help them to be able to remember their dreams better, as well as sleep better in general.
Mm, okay. So tell everybody the name of your show.
It is called Dream Your Life and Live Your Dream. So it's really about dreaming your life and what's important in it, looking at it, and then living it.
Mm, wow. Yes. And you, ladies and gentlemen, you can look forward to seeing that on our channel, Mindset Movers TV, which airs on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple. So we are so delighted to have Sheila as part of the family, and we can't wait for her content to start coming flowing through and helping people, which is what we are all about, supporting people with our gifts.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that people will tune in and make it as interactive as possible. I want other people's input because I'm absolutely fascinated with dreams. I'm a bit potty when it comes when it comes to dreams. So, and I'm hoping that people will submit their dreams, and I'll be able to bring people on air to talk about working with dreams and their experiences.
Okay. Well, we thank you so much, Sheila, for taking time out of your busy schedule to share with our audience about the importance of dreams and get people to see dreams in a whole different light.
It's
And
my pleasure, absolutely. And I thank you for the opportunity. It's been something I've been waiting for a long time.
Thank you,
absolutely,
Sheila.
yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. And have everyone have a good evening and happy dreams.
Hey, thank you.